Hello, everyone. Today, I have an amazing story for you. It's not just for your listening practice, but also to inspire you, to believe in yourself, to work hard, and to never give up. So, get ready, listen carefully, and learn English through a real story of hope, hard work, and success. And hey, before we start, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell, so you won't miss more inspiring English stories like this one. Now, let's begin. There was a young boy named Liam. He lived in a quiet town surrounded by green hills and small houses. His father was a blacksmith. Every day, his father worked in a small workshop behind their home. He used fire and heavy tools to fix and build things for the people in the town. When he hit the metal, sparks flew through the air like tiny stars. The smell of smoke and oil filled the place, and the sound of the hammer was loud and strong. Most children in the town liked to play games in the street, but not Liam. He loved to sit in the workshop, next to his father, and watch everything he did. He watched, listened, and learned. His father often said, "Liam, when you work with your hands, you also build your mind." From that time, Liam started to dream about machines. He loved everything that moved: bicycles, cars, even small engines. He wanted to understand how they worked, and he wanted to build one by himself someday. But his family was poor. They didn't have much money to buy toys or machines. Still, Liam didn't give up. He made small toys from wood, old metal, and wires. He played with them and imagined he was driving a big car. One day, when he was about 12, he saw a broken bicycle near the market. The owner said it was useless and wanted to throw it away. Liam asked if he could take it home. The man laughed and said, "You're just a boy. You can't fix that." But Liam smiled and said, "Maybe I can try." He took the bicycle home and started to work on it. He didn't have good tools, just a few old ones from his father. The chain was broken, the tires were flat, and the seat was missing. But he didn't care. He worked for hours, trying to make it move again. At first, nothing worked. The more he tried, the more problems he found. His hands got dirty, his arms were tired, but his eyes were bright with hope. He kept thinking, "If I don't stop, I will find a way." Night came, and his father called him inside. But Liam didn't stop until late. Finally, after many tries, the wheels began to turn. Slowly, the bicycle moved forward. Liam laughed out loud. He had done it. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. That night, as he looked at the bicycle, he whispered to himself, "If I try hard, I can learn anything." That small victory made him believe in himself. It was not just about the bicycle. It was about the power of trying, the power of not giving up. And from that moment, Liam knew that one day, he would build something much bigger. He just didn't know yet that his dream would one day reach the entire world. Liam grew older, but his love for machines never changed. He still spent most of his time fixing, learning, and dreaming. While his friends talked about finding easy jobs, Liam wanted something different. He wanted to build things that could move people, things that could make life easier and faster. After finishing school, Liam found a small job in a garage. It wasn't a great job. He didn't fix cars. He only cleaned the floor, washed tools, and brought tea for the workers. But Liam didn't complain. He thought, "If I stay here, I can learn." Every day, he watched carefully. He listened to how the engine started and how the workers solved problems. He asked questions, and sometimes they laughed at him. But he didn't care. He knew that learning takes time. When the other workers went home, Liam stayed. He opened old engines and studied every piece. He wanted to know how everything worked. His boss noticed this one night and said, "Liam, why do you stay so late?" Liam smiled and said, "Sir, I just want to understand." The man laughed softly and walked away. But deep inside, he was surprised by Liam's passion. Weeks passed, and one day, something amazing happened. A customer came with a small engine that no one could fix. The workers tried, but it didn't start. Liam quietly asked if he could look at it. Everyone laughed again. You? You just cleaned the floor. But the boss said, let him try. Liam checked every part carefully. He worked slowly, thinking deeply. After some time, he found a small problem with the fuel line. He fixed it and pulled the starter rope. The engine made a sound, then another, and finally, it started. Everyone was shocked. The boss smiled and said, you have a good eye, Liam. Maybe you're not just a cleaner after all. That night, Liam went home with a big smile. It was a small victory, but it made him believe he was getting closer to his dream. Soon after that, he decided to build his own small engine. He didn't have money for new parts, so he collected old pieces from the garbage behind the garage. He cleaned them, fixed them, and started building. He worked all day and late into the night. After many weeks, the engine was ready. It looked beautiful, small but strong. With excitement, he tried to start it. It made a noise, then stopped. He tried again and again, but it didn't work. For a moment, Liam felt sad. He sat down and looked at his dirty hands. He thought, maybe they were right. Maybe I can't do this. But then, he remembered his bicycle, the one that everyone said he couldn't fix. He smiled and said to himself, nothing is free. Success takes time. He started working again. He made small changes, learned from each mistake, and tried every day. And finally, one morning, when he pulled the rope again, the engine started. It was loud, it was strong, and it was real. Liam shouted with joy. He had built his first machine. He knew this was just the beginning. But now, he believed in his dream more than ever. Liam's small engine brought him happiness and hope. People from the town started talking about the young man who could fix anything. Some brought him broken bicycles, others brought old machines. He worked hard every day, earning a little money and a lot of experience. But life was not easy. Liam wanted to build more, something bigger, something new. He dreamed of making a real company where machines could help everyone. However, he had no money, no land, and no help. One day, he decided to visit a big factory in the city. He wanted to show his small engine and ask for a job. He carried the engine carefully and traveled for many hours. When he arrived, the factory manager looked at the engine and said, it's good, but we don't need this. We already have our own designs. Liam tried to explain his ideas, but the man didn't listen. He just smiled politely and said, maybe next time. Liam walked out of the factory feeling empty. He looked at the busy city around him, tall buildings, shiny cars, people in nice clothes, and thought, I am just a poor boy with dirty hands. Who will believe in me? He went back home with a heavy heart. For a few days, he didn't work. He sat in his workshop, silent and sad. But one evening, his father came in and said, Liam, when you were a child, you fixed a broken bicycle that everyone thought was useless. Do you remember that? Liam nodded. You didn't give up then. So why now? Those words woke something inside him again. Liam stood up and said quietly, you're right. I can't stop. I must keep going. He started working again, harder than before. He used every bit of money he had to buy tools and metal. He invited 2 friends who also loved machines, and together they opened a tiny workshop. It wasn't big, just a small wooden place with a tin roof. But to Liam, it was a dream come true. They worked day and night, building small engines for bicycles. They wanted to help people who couldn't afford cars. At first, they sold only a few. Many engines broke quickly, and some customers were angry. Liam felt sad again, but he said to his friends, don't stop. Let's learn from every mistake. They tested each engine carefully. They changed designs, improved parts, and tried new ideas. Little by little, their machines got better. After many months, people started trusting them. Their engines became popular. Simple, strong, and easy to repair. People from other towns began to buy them. Liam finally smiled again. His hard work was starting to shine. One evening, while closing the workshop, he looked at his dirty hands and whispered, "It's true, nothing is free. Every success had a price. And that price was time, pain, and endless work. But he was ready to pay it." Oh, many years passed. Liam and his friends kept working in their small workshop. Their engines were now famous in many towns. People came from far away to buy them. One day, a businessman visited Liam's workshop. He said, "Your engines are good. I want to invest in your company." Liam was surprised. He never imagined someone would believe in his small dream. With the man's help, they bought better tools, built a bigger place, and hired more workers. The team worked hard every single day. They tested, repaired, and improved every machine. Liam always told his workers, "Don't be afraid to fail. Every mistake teaches us something new." Slowly, their small company grew. They started building new machines, faster, stronger, better. Then one day, Liam said to his team, "It's time. Let's build a car." Everyone was excited. They had never built a car before, but they trusted Liam. They worked for months, cutting, shaping, and testing. When the first car was ready, it looked beautiful. They called it the dream car. But when they tried to sell it, people didn't trust them. Some cars broke after a few weeks. The newspapers wrote bad things. Liam's heart felt heavy again. He could have stopped there. But instead, he gathered his team and said, "Listen, my friends. We failed, yes. But failure is not the end. It's the lesson." They started again. They fixed every problem, changed the design, and worked harder than ever. Each time they failed, they learned something new. After a long time, they built a new car, stronger, safer, and better. When they showed it to the public, people were amazed. They said, "This is wonderful." Soon, the car became popular all over the country. Liam's company grew and grew. He built more factories, hired more people, and helped families earn a living. His dream had become real. One morning, a young worker came to him and asked, "Sir, how did you do all this? You started with nothing. How did you succeed?" Liam looked around, at the workers, at the shining cars, and at the sound of engines everywhere. He smiled and said, "Because I never stopped learning, because I never gave up, and because I understood one thing. Nothing is free." He paused and added softly, "Everything you want in life has a cost. Not money, but effort, patience, and time. If you can pay that price, you can make your dream come true." Then he walked outside, watched a car drive by, and remembered the boy who once fixed a broken bicycle. He smiled again, because he knew the truth. The biggest success begins with the smallest dream. And in the end, Liam's life proved one powerful message to the world. Nothing is free, but everything is possible. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, so you never miss another English story full of inspiration. Keep learning, keep dreaming, and remember, nothing is free, but your hard work will make everything possible.